All right, we are making something in the daytime, believe it or not. And I'm continuing to go through my historical documentation of growing up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So I just wanted to leave an autobiography out, and I was writing it, but then literacy is dying, so I figured I'd do it in video form. So we talk about what happened with the black community. Of course, crack was the last thing, but they've been destroying it with the drug war since the 1970s, and it had been dying. And I saw it from 70 to 80. You could see it in real time. I was able to see it. I saw it in the 80s. I saw all the codes erased and fade out, and we just gave up everything. But one of the things that we lost, the big things, as far as resources, because you got to remember, and I'm doing a whole set of videos in my support group from the book Regulating the Poor on poverty in cities. And I just did a video, should be on this channel, about instability in the black workplace. So we've always been unstable as far as being in the workplace. The only time black people had stability as far as work goes was slavery. Anytime after that, we've been unstable. They never hire enough of us. They don't always allow us to have our own industry, but then when there was segregation, there was industry. Because they had to force it because they don't want to deal with us. That's why a lot of black people are saying maybe we should go back, but we're not going to go back. I mean, well, I don't know if we're going to officially go back, because we are actually there again, only we don't have anything. We don't have any codes of conduct. We don't have any community. We don't have any unity. We don't have any trust for each other. So even if you segregate it, it would be awkward. But then you could say, well, we'll give them money publicly, and a certain amount of money will go just to them because their problems are, unique, and let them spend it the way they want. And then give us the power to say, well, we want to spend it on public housing instead of voucher programs. That could happen. So we'll see. We'll see. But one of the things we lost as far as resources is numbers. We used to have these number runners, and they would run around, take numbers. They would put them on little yellow sheets, I remember. And we would play for a nickel or a dime or a quarter, and you could win hundreds of dollars. Now, the state lottery has taken its place with the pick 3 and the win 4, and people win with that, but I think it's 50 cent a play. And with 50 cent back in the day, you could play so many numbers. You could play for a nickel and win. I mean, yeah, you can win like hundreds of dollars. And I believe, I'm not right, how they got the numbers was from the horse races from the night before. So we had aqueduct horse racing. You would go look in the paper and see what the horse races were, and you know if your number came out. So I believe that's how they did it. And so we lost that. And that was an enormous amount of resources. It was illegal, but it was an enormous amount of resources for the community. I know Miss McLean, who was really great, a store worker, who would like feed the poor children and really take care of us. She used to really get down with the numbers and paying a mortgage on her building with them numbers on a brownstone. So we lost that. That was a huge vacuum, huge source of resources for the community. So again, then the only way out was entertainment, rapping, sports, or something like that. Or I think when I was a teenager, you could still kind of get a basic job, or you work for the government. We all was gonna, once we realized we were gonna live, we all were trying to take civil service tests because that was the way out. My guidance counselor told me, no, you're going to college, so I didn't take the test. I got a lot of knowledge from it. I got a lot of education. I have 2 degrees, but that's all I got. Because again, you can have 10 PhDs, but if you don't have the support of a community, wherever it is, it's worthless. It's worthless. And I'm still trying to find communal support, because one of the psychological things, weird things that Black people believe, that their personal support should be enough. And that's not how societies work. That's not how human beings work. That's not how social order works. We are social beings. So the community has to function. If the community functions, every individual in it functions. Even if you have an individual functioning at a high level and the community is shit, that person can go only so far. That's why a lot of them get picked up by other communities and pulled away. And they leave because, let's be honest, anytime after 1980, 1990, the community hasn't created anything. All these athletes, all these figures, they're not created from the community. Well, the athletes maybe get community support, come to see the games. But all your entertainers, your singers, your dancers, those, because we don't have the juke joints, we don't have the spaces where we used to create these entertainers. Even the church is not that great. We have singers and things in churches, but they're not pushing them up like they did before. They're not bringing them through to make them singers and global phenomenons, global figures. So again, if you don't have these institutions, small ones and large ones, but especially small ones, then you're not going to have a community and you're not going to have the support. So, and actually, when you see a Black person going outside of the community and doing things, they're not selling out because we don't support them. We didn't create them in the first place. And if you don't create something, then it can't sell you out. You were never supporting it. With the tools we have a lot of people doing things, and then another community will pick them up. You know, another ethnic group will pick them up. Sometimes there's other groups of color, but for the most part, Black people just don't believe in they don't believe in social reality. They suffer from not believing in it every day and complain about that, but because they've abandoned conceptual thought or abandoned their connection to reality, which is how social things work and concepts work, they don't realize that which one they're doing and why everything connects and what is really happening. It's all personal complaints, personal achievements, personal feelings. And that's why we're dying. You can't function like that. So it was really to talk about, numbers, how we had numbers. And then the government kind of cracked down on that in New York City. I don't think everybody had this, but New York City had it. And that was a big part of our economy. We lost it. It's gone. And the state-run lottery is kind of plugging in for it. By the way, if you play Powerball, Mega, and all these games, they make more millionaires than anything else. Don't look at the jackpot. The second tier of winning is $1 million. That's all 5 numbers without the ball. Go on your website, your lottery website from your state, wherever you're watching this. Look at the wins and look at how many people are winning that $1 million and those $250,000 and those $75,000. There's a lot of people becoming millionaires from the lottery. So that kind of, I guess, makes up for it. But the good thing about the numbers was you can make money on a consistent basis. $300, $400, $500 a week, $600, $700, $800 a week. I remember Miss McLean would hit for 1,000 here, 1,000 there. You know, in the 80s, that was a big deal. So she was working and hitting numbers. And when she was off of work, the numbers sustained her. So there has to be something put into place of numbers. The state lottery is kind of doing it, but there has to be something else. And I don't know what's going to be, but I guess they'll figure it out, or we'll just drop through the bottomless pit and you won't see us anymore. But I think we're figuring some things out. And I hope they put some resources in our hand. I hope they renew the stimulus packages and things like that so that we can actually have a chance to live. And not even for myself. I'm 52. I'm on my way out. But I have nieces and nephews and great nieces and great nephews. And I want them to grow up. And I want them to live. And I want them to do more than just survive. I want them to actually live. So let's see what happens. This video went way too long, but I'm going to post it. You can support me by hitting the links. Take care of yourselves and be safe.